Everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk semuanya.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Bapak, Ibu,
wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
presenters,
wabarakatuh.
I'm so happy to see you all today. Presenters, are you ready?
Yes, we are ready, Dr. Fanny.
Alhamdulillah, let's start.
Okay. Bu Jaru, silakan Bu Jaru.
Eh, PPT-nya belum muncul, Pak. Masih loading. Wait a minute. Okay, alright. Good morning, Ma'am Fanny. Good morning, everyone. Today we are from the first group, and our group will present a topic related to language teaching methodology titled Direct Method in Language Teaching within the context of digital literacies and ICT. Next slide. Next, Pak Tuhu. Alright. The slide of introduction. Next. The direct method is one of the classical approaches in language teaching that emphasizes learning a language directly through the target language without translation. In this presentation, we will discuss the background of the direct method, its key principles, teaching techniques, and the roles of teachers and students, and many more. Later, we will also explore how this method can be integrated with digital literacies and information communication technology in modern education. Next. Alright, it's about the introduction. In the field of language education, various teaching methods have been developed to improve the effectiveness of language learning. One of these important methods is the direct method. This method focuses on teaching the target language by using the language itself as the main medium of instruction. Unlike traditional methods that rely heavily on translation, the direct method encourages students to understand meaning through context, demonstration, and interaction. The main objective of this method is to help students develop communicative competence, especially in speaking and listening skills. In the context of modern education, this method can also be supported by digital technologies and interactive learning tools. The next. And about the historical background, the direct method was developed in the late 19th century as a response to the limitations of the grammar translation method. At that time, the grammar translation method focused mainly on memorizing grammar rules and translating written text. Although students could read and translate well, they often struggled to communicate orally. Because of this limitation, educators began to search of alternative approaches that could develop students' speaking and listening abilities. The direct method emerged as a solution by promoting a more natural and communicative way of learning a language, similar to how people acquire their first language through exposure and interaction. Next. Key principles of the direct method. The direct method is based on several important point principles. First, target language should be used as much as possible in the classroom. Teachers avoid translation and instead explain meaning through examples, gestures, pictures, and demonstration. Second, this method prioritizes speaking and listening skills before reading and writing. Third, grammar is usually taught inductively. This means that students learn grammar by observing patterns in examples rather than memorizing explicit rules. And finally, learning activities are designed to reflect real-life communication, so students can use the language in meaningful contexts. The next, it's about teaching techniques. To implement the direct method effectively, teachers use several interactive teaching techniques. One common technique is the question and answer method, where the teacher asks questions in the target language and students respond directly. Teachers also use visual aids and demonstration, such as picture, objects, or gesture to help students understand vocabulary and meaning with the translation. Another technique is conversation practice, where students engage in dialogues or discussion using the target language. In addition, role play and simulation activities can be used to allow students to practice language in situations that resemble real-life communication. And, and about role of teacher and students, in the direct method, both teachers and students play important roles in the learning process. The teacher acts as a facilitator and language model. The teacher demonstrates correct pronunciation, introduces vocabulary, and guides students through interactive activities. The teachers also creates opportunities for students to practice speaking and interacting in the target language. On the other hand, students are expected to be active participants. They are encouraged to respond to questions, engage in conversation, and practice using the language as much as possible. Through active participants and continuous practice, students gradually develop their confidence and communicative ability in the target language. And the next slide will be presented by Mr. Tuhu. I'm sorry, Mr. Tuhu, you still unmute your speaker.
Okay, thank you. Here we focus on two teaching techniques. The first is realia. Realia means real, authentic objects which the teachers bring into the classroom, so students can see, touch, or use them while learning vocabulary and learning communication. Things which can be used as realia. First, everyday objects such as book, pen, bag, phone, bottle, etc. Then foods and drinks like apple, banana, bread, rice, etc. And then classroom objects such as whiteboard, marker, eraser, chair, table, etc. And then personal item like watch, glasses, wallet, notebook, shoes, etc. Then printed or real materials like ticket, maps, menus, money, receipt, etc. And the last models are miniatures like toy animals, mini cars, globes, dollhouse furniture, etc. And then activities that can be done in the classroom. The first is asking and answering with specific patterns. Teacher shows a pen and asks, "What is this?" And then student answer, "It is a pen." Second, practicing sentences like "I like apples" and other objects. Third, teaching parts of speech like preposition of place. Teacher asks, "Where is the marker?" And then student answer, "It is on the table." Fourth, practicing how to ask possession. Teachers say, "Whose book is this?" Student answer, "It is my book." Fifth, student practice ordering food using a real menu. Waiter, "Good afternoon. May I take your order?" Customer, "Yes, please. I would like a cheeseburger and French fries." The teacher teaches animal names using toy animals. Look at this toy. What animal is this? Repeat after me. Lion. Say the animal name together. 11. And then the second teaching technique is teaching culture. The purpose of teaching culture, the first is help students communicate appropriately. Second, prevent misunderstanding in communication. Third, builds intercultural awareness. And the last, makes language learning more meaningful. Topics for teaching culture. Think to teach culture of the target language. First is daily life. Students learn how people live in the target language, food and eating habits, school life, family life, work routines. Second, tradition and customs, cultural practices which are common in societies like wedding, festivals, traditional ceremonies, etc. And then social behavior and etiquette, rules about polite behavior in a culture, like saying or expressing greeting people, saying thank you, apologizing, body language. Then cultural product, things created by a culture, such as music, literature, movies, clothing, foods, etc. And then cultural perspective, values and beliefs, ideas which influence how people think and behave, like individualism, respect for time, equality, freedom of expression, etc. And the topic is language and cultural expression. Certain expressions are influenced by cultures like idioms, proverbs, and slang. And then we have some example of speaking activities. At least there are 5 example. The first one is read aloud task, imitative speaking. The objective is to assess pronunciation and intonation. Activity, for example, students read a short sentence, my brother goes to school every day. Teachers assesses pronunciation, stress, and intonation. The second activity is question and answer or responsive speaking. The objective is to assess ability to respond appropriately. An example, the teacher asks, what do you usually do after school? And then student respond, I usually do my homework and help my parents. This evaluates a short communicative responses. The third is picture description or intensive speaking. The objective is to evaluate grammar and vocabulary. Next example of activity, teacher shows a picture of a classroom, students describe it. The teacher is writing on the board, the students are listening. Assessment focus is sentence structure and vocabulary use. The fourth example of speaking activities is role play or interactive speaking. The objective is to assess communication in social situation. For example, student A is a customer and student B pretend as a shop assistant. The task is they make a conversation about buying a book. For example, customer, how much is this book? Assistant, it is 50,000 rupiah. Teacher assesses interaction, fluency, and appropriateness. And the last speaking activities is short presentation or extensive speaking. The objective is to assess ability to speak in longer discourse. For example, students present a short topic. The topic is my daily activities. Student speaks for 2 to 3 minutes describing their routine. Teacher assesses organization of ideas, fluency, vocabulary, and pronunciation. And then listening activities, which can be done in the classroom. There are 10 activities. The first is minimal pairs. Second, listen and repeat. Third, listen and do or TPR activity. Fourth, listen and answer question. Fifth, listening for specific information. Six, information gap listening activity. Seven, listen and arrange or sequence. Eight, listening to a short story. Nine is a dictation, and the last is listening to song. Here, I just give two example and explanation about minimal pairs for the first. The purpose is to help students recognize differences between similar sound. Teacher read two words, sheep and sheeps, beat and beat. Student touch, student circle the word they hear. For example, worksheet is sheep and sheeps, beat and beat, head and hot. Skill develop, sound discrimination, and pronunciation awareness. And the second example is listen and repeat. Purpose is to improve listening accuracy and pronunciation. For example, teacher says sentences, I go to school every day. She likes reading books. Student repeat the sentences. Skill develop, listening for pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation. The next explanation will be continued by my partner, Miss Twinnie. Time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tuhu. Good morning, ma'am, and good morning, everyone. I will continue the presentation now. Direct method in the context of digital literacies. In modern education, the direct method can be combined with digital literacy. Digital literacies mean the ability to use digital tools, online platforms, and technology for learning and communication. Today, technology is very important in education, and it can help students learn language more effectively. Technology also gives students authentic language exposure through multimedia resources. For example, students can watch English videos, listen to podcasts, or use language learning applications. These activities, sorry, Mr. Tuhu. Yeah. Okay, thank you. For example, students can watch English videos, listen to podcasts, or use language learning and application. And these activities help students hear real English and understand how the language is used in daily communication. And in addition, digital environment support interactive learning. Students can participate in online discussions, educational games, or other interactive activities. These activities encourage students to practice English actively. This is suitable for the direct method because this method focuses on learning and language through direct use and communication. By using digital technology, teachers can create a more interesting and interactive learning and experience for students. Okay, next slide. Next slide, please. Technology used in direct method. In the direct method, technology can support language learning, especially for speaking and listening skills. For example, is computer-assisted language learning, or CALL. CALL use computers to help students practice English. The first is provides audio and video material for listening comprehension. Through CALL, students can access video and audio material that help them to improve their listening comprehensions. Next, students can also record their own voice and compare their pronunciation with native speakers. And in addition, CALL provides interactive listening exercise and a speaking practice that make learning more engaging. Another technology used in the direct method is mobile assisted language learning, or MALL. This refers to the use of mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets in language learning. Mobile technology allows students to learning anytime and anywhere. For example, students can listen to English audio, record their speaking practice, and use pronunciation application to improve their speaking skill. There are also many language learning apps that help students practice vocabulary, listening, and speaking. By using technologies like CALL and MALL, students can practice English more actively and independently. This technology support the main principle of the direct method, which focuses on learning a language through direct use and communications. Okay, next slide, please. Integration with ICT. Information and Communication Technology, or ICT, can help improve the implementation of the direct method in language learning. By using ICT, teachers can create more interactive and engaging learning activities for students. For example, teacher can use video conferencing platforms such as Zoom or Google Meet to allow students to practice real-time conversation in English. This helps students practice speaking directly with their teacher or classmates. Teacher can also use interactive learning platform that provide speaking and learning exercise. This platform helps students practice their language skill in a more active way. In addition, multimedia presentation that include image, audio, and videos can make the learning process more interesting and easier to understand. Visual and audio material help students understand the meaning of words without translation, which support the direct method. Finally, language learning application can simulate real-life communication situation. This allows students to practice English in context similar to everyday conversation. ICT help create a more immersive, interactive, and engaging language learning experience for students. Okay, next slide, please. The direct advantage and limitation. The direct method has several advantages in language learning. The first is it helps improve students' speaking and listening skill because students practice the language directly in classroom. Second, this method encourage learning. This method encourage learner to think directly in the target language instead of translating from their native language. Another advantage is that it promotes active participation and classroom interaction. Students are encouraged to ask and answer questions, participate in conversations, and practice communication. The direct method also supports the natural process of language acquisition, similar to how people learn their first language. In addition, when this method is combined with digital technology, it can create a more dynamic, interactive, and engaging learning environment. However, the direct method also has some limitations. For example, limitation is beginners may struggle when they have very limited vocabulary. The method requires highly skilled teacher who can explain meaning without translation. It may require more time and resources to implement effectively. And then, some learners may still need explicit grammar explanations for better understanding. Okay, next slide, please. Mr. Tuhu. In the conclusion, the direct method is an important to approach in the history of language teaching. This method focuses on communication, interaction, and learning a language naturally through the direct use of the target language. The direct method encourages students to actively practice speaking and listening, which help them develop their communication skill more effectively. In the context of digital literacies and ICT, the direct method can be improved by using digital tools and online learning platforms. Technology provides many opportunities for students to practice language through videos, applications, online discuss, and other interactive activities. By integrating technology with the direct method, teachers can create learning environments that are more interactive, authentic, and learner-centered. As a result, students can become more engaged and active. Students can become more engaged and motivated in learning English. Okay, thank you. This is the presentation, our presentation, and the references is okay, Mr. Toho.
All right.
By
Thank you, Miss Twinnie. That's all from the presentation from our group. And now it's time for Q&A. And we already collected 4 questions from our friends. The first question is from Miss Fitri Maulidia. The question is about what skills are emphasized in the direct method. And the second question is from Miss Putri. Why is the use of students' native language avoided in the direct method? The third question is from Mr. Harris. What is the main principle of the direct method in language teaching? And the last question is from Mr. Arif. What are some typical classroom techniques used in the direct method? Maybe Mr. Tuhu will answer the question first.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yaro. I try to answer the first and second question. The first question is from Miss Fitri Maulidia. The question is, what skills are emphasized in the direct method? And the answer, the direct method mainly emphasizes on first, speaking skill. Students practice speaking in the target language from the beginning. Teacher asks questions and student answer in full sentences. And classroom interaction is mostly oral or in oral. And the second skill is listening skill. Listening is very important because students learn the language through direct exposure. Teachers speak only in the target language, so students must listen carefully to understand meaning. Meaning is often shown through gesture, pictures, or real objects. The third skill is pronunciation. Correct pronunciation is strongly emphasized. Students repeat words, sentences after the teacher. Teachers model natural pronunciation. The fourth skill is vocabulary development. Vocabulary is taught through demonstration, objects, pictures, action, not translation. Concrete vocabulary is usually taught first. The fifth skill is reading skill. Is introduced after students have practiced speaking and listening. Students read sentences and short passages related to vocabulary they already know. And the last skill is writing skill. Writing is practiced later in the learning process. Students write sentences based on what they have learned orally. And the second question is from Ibu Putri Andini. The question is, why is the use of students' native language avoided in the direct method? It is to encourage thinking in the target language. If students frequently translate from their native language, they tend to think in the native language first and then translate into the second language. The direct method avoids this so students can associate meaning directly with the target language. The second is to create natural language learning. Method imitates how people learn in the first language through exposure, listening, and interaction, not through translation. Students learn meaning through context, gesture, pictures, and demonstration. Third is to increase target language exposure. When the teacher uses only the target language, students receive more listening input, which helps them to improve comprehension, pronunciation, and speaking ability. And the last, it is to build direct word or meaning connection. Instead of translating word, students understand vocabulary through real objects or realia, pictures, action, and situation. That's the answer for number one, or the first question from Ibu Fitri Maulidia, and the second question is from Bu Putri Andi. That's our group's answer is
All right.
Fitri and Miss Putri.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Tohu. And the third question is about, it's from Mr. Harris. What is the main principles in the direct method in language teaching? As I told before, the main principles of the direct method is that the target language should be used directly in the classroom without translation into the student's native language. In this method, students learn the language in a way that is similar to how people learn their first language. Teachers present vocabulary and meaning through demonstration, visual aids, gestures, and real-life context, rather than explaining through translation. Another important principle is that speaking and listening skills are priorities before reading and writing. Grammar is also taught inductively, meaning students learn grammatical patterns through examples and practice instead of memorizing explicit rules. Overall, the direct method aims to develop student ability to think and communicate natural in the target language. And the last question will be answered by Miss Twinnie.
Yes, Miss. I will answer the question by Mr. Arif Purnama. The question is, what are some typical classroom techniques used in the direct method? The answer is, typical techniques include reading aloud, question and answer exercise, conversation practice, dictation, and self-correction by student. That the answer from me. That's enough. It's clear, Mr. Arif.
Yes,
All
I think clear.
right, thank you. And this is the end of the presentation from our group. Thank you for your attention. We are so sorry if there are any mistake. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much, presenters. So, you have done quite well for the material, but however, I don't know whether the last meeting was 100% understood. Saya tidak tahu apakah kemarin itu ketika pertemuan terakhir itu bisa dipahami, because I thought that you got it what I have meant. Unfortunately, all the members of the group didn't practice how to teach using direct method incorporating with the ICT itself, because I remember I mentioned in the first meeting that you do not have to present too much of the theoretical material. 1 until 3 slides will do. So after a brief introduction, each of you should show us how to practice the method you are presenting. So you can teach different topic using, for example, right now, direct method, you can teach different topic using direct method while teaching your own chosen material. Maybe you want to enhance speaking competencies or pronunciation competencies, because that's the thing that I want to see. And I want to take the score mainly from the way you teach the method incorporating with ICT. So you may give some definitions, but no need to make it long, because definition is not our level anymore. It's S1 level. So mungkin ini kurang dipahami, tapi karena ini first meeting, I will give a pass. Dan karena ini juga masih bulan Ramadan, jadi ya sudahlah, nggak apa-apa. Tapi untuk pertemuan-pertemuan berikutnya, yang saya fokuskan adalah Bapak Ibu, saya ingin melihat setelah menerangkan sedikit, memberikan introduction, bagaimana Bapak Ibu mengajarkan metode yang dipresentasikan ini. Contohnya hari ini adalah direct method. So, how do you teach direct method using ICT, any kind of tool that you have chosen? Topiknya terserah. Misalnya hari ini Pak siapa misalnya mau mengajarkan tentang speaking. Tapi speakingnya misalnya, for example, you want to teach about how to give directions. Nah, bagaimana menerangkan ini menggunakan direct method misalnya. Atau berikutnya, presenter lainnya bagaimana mau menerangkan beberapa vocabularies tapi using direct method. Karena direct method itu tidak menggunakan translation method. Jadi menggunakan konteks gitu kan. Instead of giving the translation of the meaning in second language, the teacher should give some context so the students can grasp the idea what is the meaning of the vocabularies. Jadi bagaimana mengajarkan vocabulary tertentu misalnya. Lalu anggota grup yang lain mau mengajarkan apa? Menggunakan masih direct method juga, tapi topiknya beda-beda, terserah dipilih gitu. Yang saya ingin lihat adalah itu gitu dari mata kuliah ini. Bagaimana kita sama-sama nanti satu kelas ini by the end of the semester kita sudah mencoba beberapa teknik pengajaran dalam TEFL menggunakan ICT gitu. Bukan definisinya lagi. Definisinya lagi sudah level S1 itu Bapak Ibu. Kita belajar itu. Sekarang kita praktiknya karena kita S2 Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris gitu. Jadi kita praktik bagaimana mengajar menggunakan metode-metode pilihan yang hari itu Bapak Ibu presentasikan. Gitu. Mungkin itu ya. Jadi nanti setelah liburan yang saya harapkan adalah presenters berikutnya boleh menerangkan 1 or 3 slides, boleh 1 sampai 3 slides, nggak usah banyak-banyak. And then lakukanlah micro teaching menggunakan direct method, metode apa lagi nanti berikutnya setelah direct method, menggunakan itu gitu. Boleh pakai Kahoot, boleh pakai Zoom, ini sendiri juga sudah termasuk ICT gitu. Mau pakai apa lagi, pokoknya teknologi yang dikorporasikan dalam method yang Bapak Ibu nanti pilih. Gitu. Itu yang saya harapkan sebenarnya. Kalau untuk materinya yang disampaikan oleh presenters hari ini sudah cukup komprehensif gitu. Tapi yang utamanya tadi yang saya tunggu justru belum ada. Nah, mudah-mudahan nanti untuk presenters yang lain bisa diperbaiki. Gitu. Oke, direct method ini adalah salah satu old methods. So, direct method, as the presenters have already told, has one very basic rule. One very basic rule. There is no translation is allowed. Itu aturan utama dari direct method. No translation is allowed. So, direct method receive conveyed directly. Makanya namanya direct method. Maknanya itu langsung disampaikan. Direct method, conveyed directly. Itu namanya mulai dari situ munculnya dia. So, the students learn how to communicate in the target language without using any native language. So, the students should learn, should think in order to do this method successfully without translating into their own native language. So, grammar, seperti tadi sudah disampaikan, isn't explicit subject, tambah verb 2, atau tambah to be, lalu tambah ing. No, the teacher provides a lot of exercises and materials to help the students to find out about the rules. Jadi nanti muridnya ngerti sendiri by doing a lot of exercises. So instead of presenting the list of vocabularies in isolation, the teacher create an environment into scenarios to give the students the meaning. Jadi bukan kalau cara yang tradisional, misalnya kita mau bikin hospital sama dengan rumah sakit gitu. Enggak gitu. Jadi diciptakanlah scenarios. For example, when the teacher wants to explain about traveling, for example. So be sure before doing the topic, the teacher introduce the specific words and phrases. For example, related to airports, kasih airports dan kasih gambar kasih gambar airport. Jangan ditulis ini adalah apa sih airport itu kalau bahasa Indonesianya? Bandar udara apa sih? Nah, itu misalnya.
Bandara
Kemudian
udara.
hotels. Bandara, iya, bandara, sorry. Bandara, jangan ditulis bandara. Dikasih gambarnya aja airports, kasih hotels, kasih sightseeing, gitu. So, bukan hanya jadi nggak diartikan, begitu melihat itu langsung paham. And then the students will understand about the topic and the context. And then their mind will brought automatically. Oh, so these words are related to the traveling context. Jadi gitu. Nah, challengingnya adalah we as the teachers, it needs our competence in explaining a new word. So this is the most challenging part kalau mau pakai direct method. So you as a teacher cannot be stuck. And somehow you have to find some ways to explain the words. Jadi memang direct methods ini butuh guru yang tidak mudah menyerah. Jangan gurunya nyerah lalu, aduh kok nggak ngerti-ngerti ya anak saya. Udahlah bandara gitu. Nggak gitu. Jadi gurunya nggak boleh nyerah memang direct method. You have to find ways to make your students understand the context without giving any translation. Gimana caranya? So, the teacher's competence ini harus diutamakan gitu. Nah, challenging-nya apa tadi sudah disampaikan oleh kelompok ini. Yang pertama memang cognitive overload. Jadi, for example, you want to teach about traveling or giving directions. Kalau kita pakai aplikasi, maybe the students focus more on the application rather than the grammar patterns itself. Jadi dia lebih fokus sama pakai aplikasi ini, jadi nggak memperhatikan pattern dari tata bahasanya, gitu. Misalnya seperti itu. Lalu challenging lainnya adalah not all the students have the stable internet. Kadang-kadang kita aja kuliah internetnya naik turun. So, not the same of digital literacy. So, bagaimana kalau kita mengalami ini misalnya? So, use asynchronous tool, for example, like Google Classroom. You provide authentic text with the authentic speakers. Jadi ada teks tuh, ada teks yang kalau kita pakai itu nanti keluarnya ini Bapak Ibu, keluarnya tuh selain teks keluar audionya juga gitu from native speakers. Nah, jadi nanti bisa didengarkan belakangan-belakangan. Kalau menggunakan Zoom ada masalah dengan internet, later on your students still can learn from Google Classroom misalnya. Jadi berikan materi itu cadangan di lain waktu bisa diakses lagi oleh murid kita. And then for pronunciation, you can combine AI, recognition tools misalnya. And then encouraging peer collaboration. So maybe less familiar student with the technology become less intimidating. Kadang-kadang karena dia merasa dia tidak akrab dengan teknologi, dia jadi minder. Nah, encouraging peer ini menggunakan temannya, teman sebayanya dipilihkan. Jangan pilih yang pasif dengan pasif gitu. We as the teachers, kita juga harus cerdas melihat murid. Kita harus kenal sama murid kita Bapak Ibu. Apalagi kalau kita jadi guru wali apalagi gitu. Kita harus kenal sama murid kita. Oh, ini aktif anak ini. Oh, ini yang pasif. Justru itu pasangkan. Nah, nanti kalau yang tahu teknologi kira-kira itu juga dipasangkan. Jadi bisa belajar mandiri dan disemangati gitu. Misalnya kita mau mengajarkan bagaimana mengucapkan ED. So you give the audio clips of native speakers saying, for example, walked, played, visited, misalnya. So the student will notice how ED ending sounds without the teachers give their own rules. Jadi nggak usah, nanti kalau ini pakai ED ya, nggak begitu. Jadi dengan mendengar dia paham. Karena direct method nggak menjelaskan yang nanti ini bunyinya begini, nggak ada begitu. Kalau direct method. So, jadi summary-nya Bapak Ibu, direct method still relevant in the modern technology. We can still use it, but it needs the competencies of the teacher. You can make the method become more interactive by engaging ICT. So ICT can help the students to learn about the inductive of the grammar and pronunciation by giving some guided task provided by the teacher. Jadi bisa belajar ini dengan lebih mudah dengan bantuan teknologi karena tanpa ada harus rules yang definite tertulis, begitu diberikan sampelnya, maka murid bisa belajar. So the integration of the technology really can help to lay the foundation of the direct method itself. Mungkin itu dari saya, kurang lebih. Ada yang mau ditanya sebelum selesai?
Izin Dr. Feni,
Silakan.
ya terkait dengan yang grup kami itu memang pemikiran apa yang saya tangkap itu kemarin itu prakteknya itu setelah semester pertengahan semester. Jadi saya menangkapnya begitu gitu. Jadi itu
Oke.
yang kami tangkap. Jadi kami diskusi kemarin seperti itu gitu. Makasih.
Oke. Jadi begini, untuk yang setelah UTS itu adalah praktiknya nggak menerangkannya justru udah hampir tidak lagi itu Bapak Ibu karena kan sudah praktik di sekolah ya. Nah, kalau yang ini adalah presentasi yang harus juga tetap ada itu untuk nanti nilai UTS-nya Bapak Ibu gitu. Tapi karena untuk presentasi hari ini kan sudah saya sampaikan saya memberikan kelebihan untuk yang mau berani tampil menjadi grup pertama, so I will give a pass, nggak apa-apa gitu. Tapi yang saya inginkan sebenarnya adalah ketika Bapak Ibu mempresentasikan ini juga caranya bagaimana. Nah, nanti yang setelah UTS itu adalah kita memberikan diseminasi, diseminasi itu apa ya? Mungkin bukan berbagi ilmu ya, karena yang audiens utamanya juga kan guru. Sharing aja lah, sharing
Berbagi
antara
praktik baik
teman-teman.
gitu.
Iya, begitu. Kita ada metode ini loh. bisa dipakai ya Bapak Ibu sama-sama misalnya. Lalu nanti mungkin audiens juga memberi masukan. Jadi itu adalah hal yang berbeda gitu. Kalau sekarang ini kita lebih fokus kepada apa sih yang dimaksud dengan direct method, cara mengajarnya menggunakan teknologi itu seperti apa. Kalau nanti setelah UTS, Bapak Ibu pilih langsung mau mengajarkan apa, menggunakan apa, teknologinya apa. Jadi nggak menerangkan ini lagi gitu. Jadi langsung judul judul ininya nanti misalnya teaching pronunciation using direct method bla 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 Zoom misalnya atau Kahoot atau apalah pakai teknologi apa gitu. Jadi nanti langsung to the point mau mengajar pronunciation-nya tuh gimana atau mau mengajar vocabularies-nya langsung gimana gitu. Jadi nggak lebih kayak gini. Direct method itu adalah sebuah metode yang seperti ini, ditentukannya begini, tujuan nggak menerangkan yang seperti itu lagi gitu. Ya, Miss, siapa lagi yang mau bertanya?
Uh,
Silakan.
yeah, Miss. So each of us will do the demo teaching during the presentation, or is only one of us? Since our group will be 3 members.
Oke, jadi
Thank you.
kalau sebelum UTS seperti saat ini saya meminta semuanya melakukan demo karena memang yang saya ingin nilai itu eh, bagaimana Bapak Ibu menggunakan ini untuk mengajar gitu. Karena kan kita pendidikan bahasa Inggris kalau ini nggak dipraktikkan ya sayang kita kuliahnya gitu. Tapi nanti kalau yang setelah UTS ketika praktik di sekolah waktunya tidak mencukupi nggak apa-apa. Satu orang atau 2 orang cukup tergantung. Satu orang juga nggak apa-apa karena nanti tapi walaupun misalnya satu orang yang maju bukan berarti yang dua nggak ngapa-ngapain kan. Misalnya ada yang menjadi MC atau ada yang menyusun apa-apanya dan lain-lain gitu. Itu nggak apa-apa. Tapi yang kalau untuk nilai UTS ini saya mengharapkan semuanya praktik. Karena kita masih di kelas. Anggap aja kita kayak praktikum lah Bapak Ibu. Gitu. Ada lagi?
Ma'am Fanny, izin.
Yes.
Saya perwakilan dari grup 1 yang tadi presentasi. Untuk direct method, saya pernah nih mengajarkan materi direct method ini kepada anak SD. Apakah boleh saya sedikit share? Untuk
Boleh, boleh.
dan kebetulan ini juga menyambung dengan ICT juga karena saya menggunakan aplikasi game untuk anak-anak belajar sekaligus pronunciation dan speakingnya.
Boleh,
Izin
boleh.
share ya
That's
sedikit.
great.
Oke.
Boleh, silakan.
Alright. Can you see it, ma'am?
Yes.
Nah, I already tells for my student it's about the weather and season. And in this presentation, first I will make a ice breaking first for students like guess word. So jadi pemanasan dulunya itu dengan tebak-tebakan alfabet. For example, I said what the words with the beginning of A. Nah, this is untuk ice breaking untuk anak-anak belajar berani mengucapkan speakingnya apa aja nih huruf-huruf yang berawal misalnya dari A atau B, and then I will give pertanyaan pemantik. Terus habis itu saya akan menjelaskan tujuan pembelajarannya dan memberikan sedikit video pembelajaran atau tentang musim-musim yang ada di Indonesia atau mungkin yang ada di negara lain lewat video edukasi. Lalu saya menjelaskan lewat PPT tentang summer, and there is a cara pengucapannya. Jadi summer itu bukan summer, di bawahnya itu saya tuliskan cara membacanya itu summer. And the next autumn, and the last presentation, saya mengajak murid-murid saya untuk mengerjakan word wall game. Di sini sebentar saya buka word wall game ya. I'm sorry. Where is the word wall game? Nah, this is the ICT-nya. Jadi saya meminta anak-anak murid saya untuk memilih angka yang tersedia dalam game ini. Lalu di balik gamenya ini ada gambar-gambar dari seasonnya itu. For example, You can choose, for example, you can choose number 3. Nanti dia akan maju, terus habis itu lihat what it is, it is spring or summer and etc. Like that, ma'am. Apakah
Very
seperti itu,
good.
ma'am?
Nah, inilah yang ingin kita lihat Bapak Ibu. Jadi, nanti by doing this, kita bisa saling menginspirasi gitu. Karena kalau sudah S2 itu kita udah nggak belajar definisi lagi, itu sudah S1. Kita sekarang mau kira-kira kalau mengajar ini seperti apa ya? Bahkan saya pun nanti bisa saja terinspirasi dari Bapak Ibu dan bisa menggunakan itu. Jadi kita saling sharing kalau sudah level pasca itu. Jadi bisa saja nanti yang lain juga, oh iya ya ada seperti itu. Bisa juga nanti yang lain, oh ya saya pakai cara ini ya. Nah itu saling kita saling menginspirasi dan saling berbagi satu sama lain. Dan sebenarnya ini yang ingin saya lihat. Dan jadi nanti micro teaching mulai dari hello students, nanti tapi harus beritahu saya targetnya muridnya level apa gitu supaya saya juga bisa menilai bahwa ini appropriate ya gitu. Hello students, good morning, and then how do you feel today? Tadi pertanyaan pemantik tadi misalnya, kemudian tadi now I want you to guess apa tadi word dari berdasarkan huruf apa A, B, C atau apa tadi gitu. Jadi langsung dipraktikkan gitu seolah-olah kita semua ini adalah muridnya. Lalu kemudian bagaimana caranya? Jadi benar-benar memperlakukan kita ini semua seperti murid dan saya ingin melihat bagaimana direct method itu dipraktikkan gitu.
Alright.
Jadi seperti itu inginnya. Jadi nanti pada saat praktiknya nggak perlu ngasih penjelasan seperti tadi, tapi langsung saja seolah jadi guru dan kita semua ini muridnya gitu.
Oke, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Ada lagi? Oke, untuk hari ini mungkin kita sudah selesai. Nggak apa-apa, karena ini adalah pertemuan pertama, so saya nggak ada masalah, insya Allah. Oh, Mr. Arif masih mau bertanya kah?
Like peer teaching ya, ma'am?
Yes,
Peer
like
teaching.
peer teaching, betul.
Oke,
Like
thank
peer
you.
teaching, yes. Jadi teman-teman, mudah-mudahan jelas ya. Kalau ada yang mau ditanyakan belum yakin, tanya lagi aja nggak apa-apa. Jangan takut bertanya, insya Allah saya nggak apa-apa kok. Nanya aja gitu ya, daripada nggak jelas gitu. Tapi untuk pertemuan hari ini nggak apa-apa, karena ini pertemuan pertama, and it takes a lot of courageous, and it takes a lot of nerves to do the first presentation, pilot presentation. Jadi insya Allah nggak apa-apa gitu ya. Untuk nanti-nantinya saya harap mungkin jauh lebih baik gitu. Baik teman-teman, hari ini mungkin kita habis ini kan libur ya minggu depan. Ini
Iya.
pertemuan, nanti kita ketemu lagi setelah Lebaran. So, untuk yang merayakan Hari Raya Idul Fitri, saya mendahului mengucapkan selamat Hari Raya Idul Fitri untuk Bapak Ibu semuanya yang merayakan. Untuk yang pergi liburan, walaupun nggak Lebaran misalnya, selamat liburan, hati-hati mudiknya, balik lagi ke sini dengan semangat dan sehat. Mohon maaf lahir batin juga, mungkin saya juga ada kekurangan kemarin dan hari ini ketika menjelaskan kurang jelas. Eh, Mudah-mudahan kita semua nanti bisa saling memaafkan dan kembali lagi dengan menjadi manusia yang jauh lebih baik. Amin.
Amin.
Sampai bertemu lagi setelah liburan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera
Waalaikumsalam
untuk
warahmatullahi
semuanya.
wabarakatuh.
Take
Sehat
care Bapak
terus,
Ibu.
Pak Fani.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat
Thank
Ibu
you,
dan
ma'am.
Idul
Dr.
Fitri.
Feni.
Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.